Hi, I'm John Kirkman. I'm a music journalist and a broadcaster based in the UK. Welcome to the John Kirkman Files. What we do here is we flag various music releases that have come out that you may have missed or maybe bypassed or maybe seen and wanted to know a little bit more about it. Don't worry, we're not going to go into who printed the cover or anything like that, just what's in the box and what you get for your dosh. So here we have the 1975 album from Renaissance. Now, Renaissance started off as an offshoot band of the Yardbirds, and two of the guys, Keith Relf and the drummer, Jim McCarthy, started off Renaissance with Keith's sister, Jane Relf, in the band. That lasted for a couple of years, and guitarist Mike Dunford came in as a songwriter and guitarist towards the end of the first batch of releases from Renaissance. In 1971, the band kind of reconvened. It was a different lineup, and they recorded the album Prologue. That was for an independent label, which was through EMI at the time. Then they signed to their manager's label. Now, their manager was Miles Copeland, yes, older brother of Stuart Copeland of The Police and Curved Air fame. Now, they made three studio albums for BTM, and this was the final studio album, Scheherazade and Other Stories. Now, at the time, this is a beloved Renaissance album. It's got some great tracks on it, including Trip to the Fair, and of course the side-long Scheherazade. And basically it's based on the Arabian Nights story about a sultan who wanted to marry forever, but he didn't trust women, so after every night he had them executed until he came across Scheherazade, who started telling him stories. And the stories were so interesting that he couldn't bear not to hear the next part of the story, so she lived, and she lived for 1,001 nights. And in the end, the sultan fell in love with her, and they married. Oh, I do love a happy ending. So what do you get in here? Well, you get 2 CDs and a DVD. More about that in a second. What you get in the box, you get, first of all, a poster. Now, the great way that Cherry Red have done these Renaissance reissues includes all these sort of things. On the back, you get the lyrics there. Don't bother trying to read them. Even with a magnifying glass, they can be a little difficult. But that's a picture of the band as they looked in 1975. Now, again, you get these beautiful little pochettes, and you get very much like the covers, but they're in different colours as they were. You get a booklet as well, which is full of great information, and also some fantastic photographs of the band live. So you get the album remastered, as with all the other Renaissance reissues. That'll be that, because that's the original cover, okay? Then you get Live in Nottingham, live at Nottingham University, which I think has been out before on a different label, but it's long since been deleted. Then you get a DVD. Now these like were the different colours. There's a lilac and then there's a kind of greeny blue. On the DVD, you get a promo film from 1975, and I remember there being an awful lot of talk about Renaissance at the time, because they were one of those bands who really did mix classical music alongside sort of pop stroke rock music. They were very progressive. They made 3 albums, as I've said, for BTM. They made 2 studio albums, and they also made a live album. And the live album was live at Carnegie Hall. After that, they went and signed to Warner Brothers, and the first album for Warner's was Novella. Now, Novella, A Song for All Seasons, and let's go back here, Prologue, Ashes of Burning, Turn of the Cards, Scheherazade, and Live at Carnegie Hall are all available in box sets and various remastered editions. We only really need now to cover the 70s Azure Door, which a lot of people weren't a big fan of, to be honest, but I actually quite like it. I didn't like it that much at the time, but it's kind of grown on me over the years. But the latest one, Scheherazade, and other stories is great. One of my favourite tracks on there, apart from the actual main track, Scheherazade, which takes up a full side, is Trip to the Fair. Now, there's a story about that. At the time, Annie Haslam was going out with Roy Wood. Yes, he of Wizard, The Move, ELO, etc. And they were living down in London. They said, hey, there's a fair on Hampstead Heath, let's go to the fair. So they went to the fair, but the fair was closed. And Annie Haslam told Betty Thatcher, who wrote the lyrics for that particular song, and she turned it into a song. And so that's the story of the date that never was, really. Although Roy and Annie did have quite a long-lasting relationship, and they're still friends now, of course. And you probably remember that Roy produced her solo album, Annie in Wonderland, as well. But Scheherazade and Other Stories is out now. And there's the box set. I do love the way Cherry Red have done these, but if you've missed any of the other box sets, they are still available. Go to cherryred.co.uk. When you get on the homepage, there's a little box on the top left-hand side, and it's the search box. You put Renaissance in there, or Renaissance, as they say in America, and you click search, and all these box sets and albums, and connected, so you'll probably find Annie Haslam's Annie in Wonderland in there as well. But you'll find all those albums. You can actually buy them direct from Cherry Red. They're very, very good at fulfillment. They will send out your order very, very quickly, and it'll get to your home safe and sound. But this album, as I said, or this now box set, is well worth the money, because it's considered one of the classic, as opposed to classical Renaissance albums, because they're all kind of classical in sort of motif and influence. And I love this band, and I love Annie Haslam to bits. So go and buy this album. You won't go too far wrong if you go and buy Scheherazade and Other Stories. Thanks for watching.